Jerry Seinfeld just reminded me, you got to do something to get you off this fucking annoying VH1 show I caught yesterday afternoon.
What's that?
Laying around popping antibiotics. It's called The Fabulous Hamptons Life.
Yeah.
And it's got
I saw that, yeah.
It's got like a bad version of Robin Leach, and it's like, you know, everything's like, Paris Hilton bought a watch for 30 grand. You know, and you're like, this is all about the Hamptons. You're like the main centerpiece of it.
Oh,
it's
really?
all Howard?
Oh, it's you and Beth at the airport. It's you.
I didn't see that.
You rented the most expensive rental house in the history of the Hamptons with an aerial view.
Yeah, and that wasn't even true.
It said, well, you know.
You were at that house. That was no grand.
I recognized the house from the...
Yeah, it couldn't have been that expensive.
If I was there?
I mean, it was expensive. No, I'm saying...
I slept very well in that house.
I'm saying it couldn't have been that expensive based on what the house was. You know, it wasn't the most expensive. It was expensive, though, but I know what I paid, and what they listed in the paper was way more.
Howard liked the house so much, he gave them another 200 grand. To stay a little longer. The king of all media wants his cake to eat it, too.
You want to punch that guy?
Get that just because of that crazy guy's delivery.
Oh, I want to cave the side of his face in.
Yeah, when you're doing that, hold him for me so I can punch him a few times. Give him a pink belly.
You owe him a couple of whacks.
Yeah, you hold him down, I'll punch him.
How do you get there? The regular people have to endure traffic, but not Howard and his dog. Howard and his dog, either private jet in a helicopter in. And what
I drive out there.
And what happens when him and his darling Beth want to eat? No drive-through for them. Gourmet cooking delivered right to the door.
Wow.
For an estimated 20 grand. And that's not including the tip, which is an extra 5 grand.
You tip 5 grand?
What a fuck nut.
He really is just like, you know.
Fucking douche.
And they show all, like, people in traffic jams, like the poor people, like, oh, it's hot, and we're in traffic
Should
jam.
be beating people.
And there's a shot of you, Beth, and Bianca fucking strolling along.
They should have me stepping on people's heads. Like, you know that scene when they're leaving Vietnam?
Yeah.
50 grand.
Yeah, Howard spent an extra 30 grand just to have a private gate to the pool. And when it's time for Howard to clean his pool, it's chlorine worth 80 grand.
Howard Stern has bottled air flown in from the Himalayas. Flown in especially for him and his dog.
While air is
never breathed American air.
While air is free to the rest of us lowlifes, Howard spends up to 40 grand a bottle.
His giant nostrils are never deprived fresh Himalayan air.
His enormous non-Gentile nose cost an estimated 82 grand. The grand is when you just want to fucking... I watched the whole thing. I mean, I guess...
He paid an extra 200 grand.
And when it's time for Howard and his beloved Beth to party, they don't go to some kegger. They go to P. Diddy's white party, where an estimated 40 grand for the gourmet hors d'oeuvres is spent. And this is a shot of P. Diddy at his white party. But if you want to...
You know what's great about that? The reality is I did one summer go to P. Diddy's.
I had a picture of you there.
And I walk in... P. Diddy won't let me use his bathroom. I'm holding it in. They're not allowed in the house because I'm going to, I guess, rob the house.
Sounds fabulous.
So I leave after 15 minutes. I don't even have a drink. And I go to somebody's lawn and piss on it. I pulled over and we both peed on the lawn.
If you want to go to the bathroom at P. Diddy's white party, that'll cost you 15 grand.
Hey, Judy.
You know, I think they aired this special already, and I thought I had the clip. I'm going to re-pull this one, but I have another one with the same narrator, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's on JD1 in Orange.
About me?
Yes.
Oh. All right. grand.
And now it's time for another 2006 Splurge All-Star, Howard Stern. This past year, the king of all media was making a record-breaking salary off his Sirius radio show. $1,000 for every 24 seconds he talked.
Oh, what happened?
$1,000 for every 24 seconds.
Hey, let's see, I've been on 15 minutes. I just made 20 grand. Hey, how come this thing just...
Did it just cut off?
And now it's time for another salary off his Sirius radio. He talks.
You would have thought I invented the cure for polio, or I just invented cloning.
So you'd better believe he's spending a little. As a show of gratitude to his longtime radio sidekick, Robin Quivers, he bought her a $92,000 SL500 Mercedes.
grand.
But one measly luxury sedan, Howard was just getting warmed up.
Oh.
He's building a lavish summer home in the Hamptons, the New York beach getaway for stars like Katie Couric and Jerry Seinfeld. The property alone cost Howard $20 million, and he's spending millions more on construction. But Howard couldn't wait.
Well, if I'm making $1,000 a minute, why not?
You gotta spend it. What are you gonna? You can't keep it lying around.
What are you going to get? A shack?
What did he say? $1,000?
Every 24 seconds, he makes $1,000. How do you feel now, you dweebs?
Pieces of shit who watch this show don't make $1,000 all day.
Hey, all you brain surgeons out there, you don't make anything compared to Howard.
All you worthless worms who watch this show are nothing.
You disgusting little maggots.
Stern can't wait till gas goes up $10 a gallon so he can pay 20 grand just to fill up his SUV.
Never before have
Luxury sedan.
Never before have the media like dangled the lives of celebrities in the people's face more than this era. It's just, you know.
Howard Stern shits in a gold bidet.
So he rented a temporary beach house. This 9-bedroom Hamptons compound that cost him $600,000 for just 3 months. Between the Mercedes and the beach house rental, Stern blew through almost $700,000 in 2006. But come on, with what this guy's making, he's only got to work 6 hours to foot the bill.
And it's remarkable. It's more than I ever expected.
Yeah, this wasn't the one I saw.
And that's why you, Howard Stern, deserve to be one of our jaw-dropping Splurge All-Stars.
You're a Splurge All-Star.
Hey, thank you. Howard Stern spends $40,000 a month on small condoms.
But he only had to work 2 hours to cover the bill.
It's not a magnum for this pencil dick millionaire.
I'll have the stuff from yesterday in about like 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, JD. Anxious to hear that. That's funny.
$1,000. Guess who else it's great to be? Brad Pitt.
And Bianca, the pampered pooch who dotes on sheets of solid gold for 65 grand a day.
Howard bought a homeless person for 30 grand just for Bianca to shit on.
What a life.
Splurge All-Stars.
What a shithead.
Howard Stern.
I want to fucking shit on his head. How much do I have to splurge to do that?
Where is that guy? They bring him in here.
Who is he?
And you know he's trying to, they figure the Robin Leach formula works, so they hire like Robin Leach Light or something. Yeah. And I mean, I got to admit, I kept watching it because I hated him so much. And I was trying to get, like, material.
After I hear that, I hate me.
Well, that's what they're doing, really.
Ron Perlman.
Envy him.
Right, yeah. Ron Perlman throws the party of the summer.
And Stan goes.
Stan.
Stars like Katie Couric.
Katie Couric.
Couric and Jerry Seinfeld.
Katie Couric to celebrate the lowest ratings in the history of news.
Howard Stern spends 12 grand a week on wet wipes to clean his enormous asshole.
But it only took him 2 hours to cover the bill.
His enormous asshole.
That's 15 minutes to him.
I got angry at Beth last night. She went out to this really cool event where you eat dinner and watch James Taylor.
She's out every night.
No. She swears to me she's not.
You're watching this every time you talk to us, she's out.
Well, I bring it up every time she goes. So I make it seem like she's out every day.
Well, there's twice this week, it looks like.
Beth Ostrowski goes to James Taylor dinners while Stern lays in bed beating off.
Well,
Because
Stern sleeps.
While Stern gets ready to make $1,000 every 24 seconds.
Little Miss Hamptons has some serious competition from the Baron
That's
of
that same fucking asshole.
It is.
he
He
does
does
all
all these shows.
Boob Jokes, Howard Stern.
Obviously a very important man.
While he's building his own dream house on this $20 million plot of land, Howard's been renting. In 06, he reserved this 10,000 square foot Southampton home for $600,000. And in 2006,
Grand.
He's not even British, this guy.
No, he
what
sounds
is
like
he?
a New Zealander or an Australian.
Or maybe an asshole.
Or
sounds
maybe
just like
he's
an asshole.
faking it.
That's the asshole accent.
actually upgrading. With this beachfront mega bungalow featuring a spa and tennis court plus breathtaking views. The price to rent it for a single summer? A record-breaking $800,000.
Howard Stern this year paid the highest for a rental. He loved the house so much that he decided to give him an extra $200,000 to keep it.
$200,000.
Yeah, that's the one I saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Grand.
That's such a lie. I'm not saying it was cheap, but it wasn't $800,000 with an extra $200,000.
How do they justify themselves? They just can
I
say,
don't know.
look, legally we can do this because we got this report.
Well, they got somebody to quote them those prices, and then
Right.
they can go with it.
But they're not disparaging anyone. I mean, it kind of makes me look like a high roller.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole
But
point of
I
it.
find
but
that embarrassing.
I was going to say, it makes you look like a ridiculous role.
Yeah, like I would say, what an asshole spending $800,000 for a rental.
And an extra $200,000 to extend.
Yeah. You know, though, it's so true. These shows ruin me because we had this woman come. She was supposed to, like, she measures all your drawers and stuff. And they, they'll help you organize. Like, they'll put in those little organizing things.
Yeah.
So I said, well, give me an estimate.
200 grand.
22 grand. I got an estimate to put in like some felt on the, you know what I mean? Like to put some like dividers.
Liners and dividers.
22 grand. I said, no. I said, you must be watching VH1.
And when this guy wants to organize his closet, he doesn't do it any old way. He hires a woman who's an expert to do it for 22 grand.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I don't need that. 22 grand.
How organized does your closet have to be?
My first 10 years in radio, I didn't make 22 grand. 22 grand. That's what I said to Beth. I said, we got to be very careful. People see us coming.
Well, there's certain people that this show deems like Hampton's royalty. You're one of them. Seinfeld's another. Spielberg, Ron Perlman, P. Diddy.
Ron Perlman's probably worth $7 billion.
Yeah. Well, I was trying, just the richest person from show business has got to be
Seinfeld.
Well,
Spielberg, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Or Jerry Bruckheimer, quietly. He's got hit movies and TV shows.
Yeah, but nobody would know Bruckheimer. They're not going to make a big deal about Mr. Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer spends $5,000 on a haircut for one hair.
The Bruckster.
And there's plenty of people who spend more money and are richer out there, but you don't know who they are.
Right.
So they can't build a TV show on them.
That's what he does, too. He makes up annoying nicknames that these people haven't sanctioned. Right. He just made
Howie enjoys a haircut for 10 grand.
Well, he just
Sterny McSternmeister goes and gets a $5,000 haircut.
He just called him the Baron of Boob Jobs.
Yeah. While Bethy Beebe Bo, Bethy Wah. And Bianca Bonka.
Oh, gee. For the whole year, his Hamptons rental total investment is $1 million.
Oh.
It'll be fun.
You bet it'll be fun.
Almost like you're laughing off that much money, like you're talking about that.
The lanky asshole wasted $1 million on a rental.
And while your kids didn't have a winter coat.
He got a Austerizer for 50 grand.
What's an Austerizer?
I don't know.
See, we don't even know what that is.
Gold-plated Austerizer.
He bought a juicer that could feed Chicago's South Side.
An Austerizer, isn't that a blender?
No fucking
Yes, if you tell me it is, I guess that's when you're rich. It's an Austerizer. Poor people have blenders.
No, I've had an Austerizer since I was first married. That's what it's called. A blender's called an Austerizer, right?
Really?
Osterizer?
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
You're leaving us behind.
An Austerizer.
While J.D. Harmeyer, who works for Stern, eats supersized fries for $1.39, Stern dines on Nobu salmon for, get this, a record $5,000 a plate.
Imported sturgeon.
While Richard Christie goes to the Olive Garden, Stern won't have it.
While Stern feasts on the unborn fetus of salmon eggs. While baby salmons die in the belly of the grotesque boobmeister, J.D. Harmeyer eats supersized fries for $1.39.
Stern is responsible for the shortage in beluga.
And while his sidekick is trying to help Eritrea women,
his own staff starves.
His staff starves to death while Stern
Christie
Sternmeister.
Applebee's.
Sterny Sternster.
Stern dines on monkey brains that he kills himself. The privilege to kill a monkey yourself? An extra $8 grand.
How embarrassing. Wow.
Yeah, it'll be, then they cut to a quote like, you saying, yeah, it'll be fun. You bet it'll be fun.
Yeah, right. Like, totally out of context.
Like you're talking about what they're talking about.
And then making me into an asshole because of it.
Like, you just answered the question, like, you going to enjoy yourself at the premiere tonight? Yeah, it'll be fun. You're saying no.
You'll be like, Stern makes sure to buy clothing made by the hands of children who work illegally. And then I'll go, yeah, that'll be fun. Of course he thinks it's fun. He pays a whopping $7,000 a week to have his cock ass tweezed.
This evil bastard is having fun while you're not. He buys homeless people to use as human-sized chess pieces.
Eric the Midget, you're on the air in Sacramento.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, if you listen real closely, you can hear the show screeching to a halt.
We were having too much fun.
Yesterday, if everybody listened closely, we could all hear the loud sound of you falling on your ass.
What is that, SF? Is that stupid fag?
I'm busy making $1,000 every 24 seconds, Eric. You better not slow this down.
Yeah, really, Eric. One of your phone calls, Howard makes $8 grand.
Don't you cost him money?
Uh-oh, there's the disgusting Stern at his microphone, and there's the young J.D. Harmeyer.
Nicholas Nickleby Harmeyer.
J.D. Harmeyer makes a penny every 30 hours.
The Oliver Twist of the Stern Show.
What is it, J.D.?
No, I think he's calling in because he wants to know if you listen to a show, and I didn't get a show.
No, bye.
You didn't tape a show?
No, I know.
What the fuck?
I woke up late. My sleep schedule got fucked up yesterday.
Your what schedule?
My sleep schedule.
Don't you have like a recorder or some kind?
Well, no, and I forgot to tell somebody about it. So.
JD.
Sorry, Eric.
He can't afford a recorder.
But he's got his country show tomorrow.
Oh, come on, JD.
I'm sorry. I know.
Specifically for
I
that.
know. I fucked up.
While Stern plays in the Hamptons, J.D. Harmeyer lives in an abandoned mole hole in Brooklyn.
Les Miserables.
While J.D. Harmeyer barely speaks English, Stern enjoys the language all for himself.
While J.D.'s father, Chuck, drives a truck somewhere in the Midwest and calls Stern Show nonstop for some attention. His mother wants nothing to do with him. Does Stern care? No way.
Well, Stern did offer to fly his mother in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach.
Eric, unfortunately, JD couldn't do his job last night and disappointed me, so I don't get to hear your show.
Well, hopefully he'll make it to the country music show tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. your time.
No chance. Bye.
While Stern yells at J.D. Harmeyer, he's earned a whopping 25,000 grand.
Perhaps it's time for another lesbian midget bitch. Make fun of that if you will, but it bought this estate for 800 million grand. Stern's laughing all the way to the bank.
While Artie Lang talks about Stern's money, Stern earned 800 grand.
Who's the dope now, FCC chairman?
I will get his country show tomorrow.
No.
We don't want his country show.
I don't want any show.
Yeah, I don't want any show either.
We like his American Idol show.
It's the same show over and
Hey,
over.
you see, now you're being like Teddy. You're being belligerent.
Yeah, just do
I'm
it.
sorry. I know. I apologize.
Just tape.
I do. I will.
All right, Eric, we'll hear it next week.
Don't hit us with the whys and hosannas.
Was it a good show?
Yeah, I'm finally glad to see Jason and Castro gone.
Jason Castro?
Why is that?
He's giving us American Idol.
Oh.
Yeah.
That kid was annoying and had no talent.
Wow. Can't get enough of these updates. Annoying, no talent, remind you of anyone you know.
Yeah, you.
Wrong! Well, Artie makes 900 million grand to be the fat heroin sidekick. Eric toils away in some disgusting attic in the Northwest. Where he pays nurses up to 40 grand just to wipe his ass. They offered Eric 8 grand to star in a remake of Taxi Driver, but he said no due to prior commitments that wouldn't allow him to get a mohawk. Colin Quinn is now homeless.
You know what? Artie wasn't here when Eric agreed to all stipulations.
Ooh.
So then take your 8 grand.
Wow. Fatty McFatstein wasn't there. The corpulent Tubbo took another sick day.
You're tripping over yourself.
Oh, and he gets hit with another low blow by Alec. But is he capable of any other kind of blow? No, because he's low.
All right, Eric. Well, thank you for the update.
Well, I also know who,
30 grand!
What?
Artie, shut up.
50 grand!
Go ahead, Eric. What did you want to say?
I was going to say that, I know who ended up ratting me out about my eyebrows.
Nobody gives a rat's ass.
Oh, that's another thing you don't
Artie
know,
missed
Artie.
it. Artie, you want to have a good laugh? You missed this yesterday. We're looking at Eric, and we see he's wearing that hat real low like he is now.
Yeah.
So I go, what's going on with that hat? And it turns out he shaved his eyebrows because we were making fun of him. Eric, lift your hat up.
Come on, Eric.
Let Artie see your eyebrows. Look at this. You shaved them off.
Oh, my God. Oh, dude, what are you doing?
That mustache is wild, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, now it's got, on the left side, it's got a little piece of hair. Then somewhere toward the middle is a piece of
I
hair.
haven't touched it. I don't know how it could be any different.
No, I'm showing Artie.
We're
He
showing
missed it
Artie.
yesterday.
He missed it yesterday.
You see how the whole middle where Hitler had a mustache is empty?
Yeah, it's mustache.
It's like a 4-piece mustache. It's like, and this is what's weird about Eric's mustache, and you can go on JFSC and see it right now. One side, the left-hand side, is filled in. Then on the right-hand side, there's only 2 spots where there's hair, and everything else is empty.
And he thinks it's a good mustache.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
It's an amazing mustache.
He has nothing in the middle. He couldn't even grow a Hitler mustache.
No. Like if he shaved the sides and decided to grow a Hitler mustache, he couldn't do it.
Right.
Get closer in on that.
See, I think the left side or the other, the left side is exactly the same.
It looks like it's shaved.
I mean, it's a bad mustache.
There's a hole in the middle.
And on our left.
Eric, that's the worst friggin' mustache.
You could only give half a mustache ride.
I think Eric shaved his eyebrows and tried to glue on the hairs to his mustache.
Yeah.
There you go.
It gets worse and worse for Eric the midget.
Yeah, get rid of that mustache, dude. It's not good. It's ruining your look.
And the goatee's awful.
Looks like now that he's wearing the hat, his head is sweating because he's got a bunch of zits on his forehead, too. Pick up that hat again, Eric. Please.
Oh, I only have one up there.
Let me see that. Let me see what it's doing up there. Look.
Oh! Jeez, Eric.
While no sort of treatment seems to be working for poor Eric, Nikki and Paris Hilton look great.
All right, Eric, I got to go.
Well, you didn't even let me tell you who...
Bye, Eric. We love the update. Jason Castro. Good one. Back to obscurity for you.
I wish it was Cupcake Wednesday so your mouth would be stuffed.
And I wish it was Cock Thursday so you would have a cork in your mouth.
All right, Eric, quickly, what is your final comment?
It was Johnny Frotto that ratted me out.
I don't know. Someone just handed me a note saying you had shaved your eyebrows.
It was you, Frotto. You broke my heart.
He actually told me that he did it.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, then you didn't do any great investigation. He just turned himself in.
Johnny turned himself in.
Sherlock Midget.
What exciting news.
Johnny ratted out Eric.
There's a 60-year-old man in California whose entire life is based around a midget. His father used to be a mob henchman who stole a rocket ship to let his son play with, and now his son pathetically deals with a midget on a daily basis.
Hey, fat ass, I'm sure he'll be pleased to hear that you aged him a few years. He's only in his 50s.
Oh, look out, Artie. There's a hit on your on your head for $5,000.
All right, Eric. Same wrap-up show. I know, Lisa, we're still doing the news, but Artie's so funny. Artie has this theory that I don't have to go to the emergency room if I hurt myself, that I have special doctors on call.
They'll come to you?
You were the celebrity that popped to my mind. How
the hell would I go to the emergency room?
Everybody has to go to the emergency room.
I've had experiences where they don't, Robin.
Oh.
If Howard gets sick, he's got to go. He doesn't go to like an emergency room. Where do celebrities go?
Celebrity hospital.
You know, it's like flying private.
I think I have no idea. You know what? I never thought about it.
You think there's like celebrity triage?
No, I think there is. Is Howard going to St. Vincent's if he hits his eye?
I can't be seen in St. Vincent's. If people see me there, they'll freak out. I've been to the emergency room so many times.
Yeah, remember when Beth hurt her ankle? They went to the emergency room, didn't they?
And
when Beth hurts her ankle, there's no emergency room.
No emergency room for her. She's whisked off to a remote island where celebrities are given special treatment. Price tag, $57,000.
But that's just for the flight. When they get to Ibiza, it's not a regular hospital waiting room. It's the Four Seasons Resort. And this ain't no Ramada Inn. One night's $38,000.
One night stay, $38,000.
And that's if you don't use the mini bar. One Toblerone bar costs $4,000.
Howard's carried to the hospital on a 28-carat solid gold stretcher. Price tag, $400 million.
He gets Donna Karen to sew up his wound.
Howard's estate is now valued at $400 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of cake for the king of all media.
On premises, his own hospital.
He gets a real short black man to hold his lantern. Gary Coleman and Webster do different shifts.
Speaking of Gary Coleman,
holding unbelievably ugly. She's hot, and that means $5,000.
The principal gave her $1,000 for every 24 seconds.
She walked away with a severance package of $500. And what did the guy do? Did he make a good living? What did he do?
He couldn't afford her education, so I don't know that he made a...
I know he was very wealthy because his Hamptons rental was a whopping $800,000.
A new record.
A new record. Sucker. Every time that VH1 special's on, it's like, Howard Stern is a big, fucking, ugly sucker.
Did someone say haggle? This guy doesn't even have it in his vocabulary.
Ask him any price and he'll pay it. Because he's a douche.
Like a dim-witted hippo.
He loves to overpay.
Like a disgusting...
Like a dim-witted giraffe.
Ask him for anything, he'll pay it.
Like a brick-minded horse, he'll pay anything.
He's so stupid.
He recently paid $40,000 for one shish kebab of Chilean sea bass.
And now it's time for another 2006 Splurge All-Star.
Splurge!
Stern.
Howard Stern is a Jew, but he sure doesn't spend like one.
Can someone say, against stereotype?
And
This
now
Jew
it's
knows
time
how to
for
listen
another
to purse
2006 Splurge All-Star. Howard Stern. This past year, the king of all media was making a record-breaking salary off his Sirius radio show. $1,000 for every 24 seconds he talks.
You would have thought I invented the cure for polio, or I just invented cloning.
So you'd better believe...
Yeah, and that's where they just take some non-sequitur interview I did and plug it in there.
Yeah, you're laughing at everybody who gives you money or listens to you.
Right. That quote had nothing to do with the story, but that hardly matters. VH1's going to paint me the big major asshole who just randomly spends money on shit and, you know, and has more, just like wildly spending in a...
Money every 24 seconds.
You know what was really a pathetic part of it?
Yeah.
The guy who owns Marquee, the big club, he has a place called Dune out there, I guess.
Yeah.
And all the pathetic schmucks, what they do to get in this fucking club. It's like... Not just anyone gets into Dune. You better be rich, good-looking, or famous. A regular person can pay up to $4,000 just to get in the door.
But Nacho, the polo player, goes right through the door.
Right, but one of the coveted dance floor tables can run you $8,000. But if you want a magnum of Dom Perignon, that could be $16,000. And then they interview, like, the bitchy manager. Yeah, we can make up to $40,000 in off one table. It's crazy.
Howard Stern spends $40,000 on a table at Dune, while other peasants merely dream outside.
While you stand in line, he just waltzes past you.
And who goes to Dune? People better than you, like Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel spends $800,000 a minute on her rental.
And guess what? She hates you.
He's spending a little. Right. As a show of gratitude to his longtime radio sidekick, Robin Quivers, he bought her a $92,000 grand.
$92,000 car.
$SL500 Mercedes. But one measly luxury sedan, Howard was just getting warmed up.
It almost sounds like you're about to buy a fleet of cars.
Like I'm just this brainless imbecile who's running around madly purchasing anything he can get his hands on.
The same day Robin got that car, J.D. Harmeyer was mugged on the PATH train.
Living to bloated excess while J.D. Harmeyer, his employee, starves on McFries.
J.D. Harmeyer had to turn over his iPod.
Yes.
To a black man on the subway.
To an African-American man who demanded it.
Howard Stern has his own security force while J.D. rides the subway unattended.
And not just any security force. Ronnie Munn's services can run to up to $8,000 an hour. While Robin was driving one of her 11 cars into work, Richard Christie sat in a homeless man's diarrhea on the freight train.
J.D. Harmeyer was run over by Robin's car, gifted to Howard Stern for $80,000.
A mere speed bump for Robin, as she was going to get a coffee enema at Starbucks.
How come Robin's never on those shows with her wild
I'm not a
life?
Splurge All-Star.
A Splurge All-Star. Flying first class with Jimmy Florentine.
Kiss my cunt.
To get a rap.
Building a lavish summer home in the Hamptons. The New York beach getaway for stars like Katie Couric and Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'm romping around with Katie Couric and
Lucky you.
And Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
They sound like so much fun.
They're all together. And if you think Jerry Seinfeld's wife doesn't chip in, her book is made $5,000.
Lisa G, did you want to wrap up your news?
Yes, I do, because I have a lot to do. But thank you. Have a nice
Lisa G has a lot to do. And the G stands for grand.
Lisa Grand.
Lisa Grand.
Stands for gold digger.
Look at the... Whoa. Yeah. Look at the ass on Lisa G.
All right, that's enough. All right, thank you.
Her shameless flirting with corpulent Tubbo sidekick Artie Hart.
Are you flirting with him for real? Am I?
No. I paid him a nice compliment.
She just accepted dinner with me. I think that's...
I did?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
I
said I'm not going to New Jersey.
That's you.
Even if Artie sends a limo for you?
Even if I send you a 28 grand limo?
No.
Artie's limo is worth 28 grand.
What about the keys to that 8 grand chastity belt you locked on in the 4th grade?
It's studded with diamonds.
Not anybody can get in that chastity belt. Only Ed Lover and Dr. Dre. Half of the Wu-Tang Clan for Lisa, because they make a boatload of money while Artie toils on the road telling dick jokes for an estimated 70 grand.
So, Lisa, even if, like, Dominic was calling in, actually, to offer you his limo to go to Artie's, but you don't want to be delivered like fast food.
What is this
Artie gets everything else delivered to his house.
Right. If you want to just have dinner one night after work, that's fine.
What is this
No big deal.
What is this anti-Jersey sentiment, though? Like,
That's not it.
Yes, that's what you said. I don't go to Jersey.
After the first date, you'll travel?
No. No.
So... All right, well, whatever. Leave it.
I mean, like, all right. It's strictly Manhattan for Lisa G.
After work.
Strictly Manhattan.
She won't slum in New Jersey.
Do you believe John Hines claimed that he even had 34 blowjobs in that short span of time?
I don't believe he went to Michigan's University of Michigan.
Seriously, do you, Lisa, as a woman? I mean, you can size up John Hines.
I'd like to see a picture of him from high school.
Right.
And then I can...
Well, you think he was that much better looking in high school?
Well, I think he's a nice-looking guy, and girls like nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I'm sure he looked like a fucking young Brad Pitt in high school.
I bet you Jared doesn't have the John Hines numbers.
Hey, let me talk to this guy out.
All right,
Thanks,
see you
Lisa.
later. Thank you.
You know, on VH1, you guys ever see on VH1, they have that... Robin, what's the guy's name from Lifestyles?
Robin Leach.
Robin Leach, yeah, they have that fabulous...
Robin Leach Light, the guy
Yeah,
I call him. He
yeah.
goes, you know, the guy who talks like, she spent 30 grand, that guy. Howard is featured on that.
I was going to say, I just found out about that.
And your car's featured on it.
My car?
They gave you the award. That's why Howard Stern wins our Splurger of the Year award.
Really?
Oh, because of Robin.
Dude, it gives your portfolio. It talks about your house out east. It talks about what you're doing, what you're renting, what you're building. And then it goes, long-time sidekick Robin Quivers got a $110,000 Mercedes. And it shows the car. I mean, it's like a 10-minute spot on how you spend money.
Hey, listen, you spend money because what are you going to do? I mean, Scott taught me this. He says you only go around once. So you got to do
What are you
it.
going to do with
Can't
it?
take it with you, right?
With you.
But you wonder, it was some sort of weird name like Splurger of the Week or something.
Right, because I didn't see that segment, but somebody told me about it later, and they were talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z. He spent $2 million on her birthday.
Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, Robin doesn't even bang me, and I spent all that money on it.
What they'll do is
She was gonna that day, though. I think I could have gotten that.
Yeah, I think you could have gotten anything
I
that
want.
they'll show Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie walking down some street in Beverly Hills, and they'll just go, they stopped in and bought a belt for 10 grand.
Right. Angelina Jolie, our splurger of the day.
I would never.
$400,000 in a half hour.
The guy's
I would never spend any money on myself.
Right.
But for someone else, I would do it. I don't buy anything for myself. I really don't. I don't, what would I give a shit?
Right.
What am I going to do? What would you spend money on? Me, I wear the same shitty clothes every day. What are you going to do?
I hear you, man. I know.
But,
yeah, well, I was telling somebody, because this show is funny. You got to see it. They had a white dude who talks black.
Right. Yeah.
And they were saying he wrote songs for 50 Cent and Beyonce and $80,000 a song he gets. And then they said, and so this year he started spending to show how much he had. Right. And he bought this, what is that new, the Maybach, the car?
Maybach. Yeah, Maybach.
He bought a Maybach and he bought a yacht. And then he goes, yo, I mean, he's as white as the Pillsbury Doughboy. And he's yoing it up.
Well, whereas it's probably annoying to you to be on there, you could tell there's probably people who are dying to get on the show.
That guy was actually on the show talking.
Keep me off that fucking show. High Pitch Eric, I saw you outside the Letterman appearance. And,
it's time for another 2006 Splurge All-Star.
Oh, listen to that guy.
Oh, Splurge All-Star. Yeah, I tell you, it's a wacky show, and they're trying to do a Robin Leach.
Howard Stern. This past year, the king of all media was making a record-breaking salary off his Sirius radio show. $1,000 for every 24 seconds he...
Wow, wait a second. That's amazing. That is just so not right.
Hawks. You would have thought I invented the cure for polio, or I just invented cloning.
So you'd better believe he's spending a little.
Yeah.
As a show of gratitude to his longtime radio sidekick, Robin Quivers, he bought her a $92,000 SL500 Mercedes.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody told me about this. I said, they did what? It's like, oh, God.
And they show the car for like 3 minutes.
Robin driving around. I don't want to hear the rest of this.
Keep going.
No.
It's brutal. You're gonna hate it.
We got to go through the cringe.
Because first of all...
They replay this over and over, Howard.
Yeah, well, great.
80s. But one measly luxury sedan, Howard was just getting warmed up. He's building a lavish...
I don't want to... I really don't want to hear about this.
Apparently, there were pictures that went along with it.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, forget it. They get like blueprints on this show.
I can't build a house in peace, private.
You can't even rent.
No, I'm renting a house. And by the way, they're so wrong in the newspaper what I rent that house for.
I heard a quote.
Well, it's on there.
I heard a quote too,
dude. If it's what this guy says,
it says 600,000.
Yes,
right?
I'll take what you rent.
No, but that's so wrong. I mean.
I'm sure it is, actually.
Who the hell would rent a house for $600,000? It just would be against my nature.
England?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the guy goes,
like the Queen.
But with neighbors like Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
Jerry Seinfeld doesn't live anywhere near me.
If he's on the planet, he's your neighbor.
Yeah, right. Jerry Seinfeld lives on like 20 acres in the Hamptons, right? On Further Lane, and it's nowhere near. I mean, he's got ridiculous. That property's probably worth.
He's got $200
million.
He's got a baseball field.
Yeah.
Like a full. What now? Is this bullshit, or does he and Spielberg live on the same street?
No, not at all. No? Nowhere
They're
near
not neighbors
each other.
either.
He lives in another compound.
They're both in East Hampton. And I've seen Spielberg's house. I'm not inside it, but I've seen. It's not ostentatious or pretentious.
But it's not the house. It's where it sits.
That's why he's not Splurger of the year.
Spielberg's. You're right. Spielberg's between the ocean and another body of water.
It's like one of those places that you have to be either filthy rich or just been born into a family that bought it at the turn of the century. Last century.
Oh, right. So he's like in between. Oh, that's nice.
Two bodies of water are facing, So
he's facing a bay and the ocean.
That's cool.
That's right. Me, please,
Come on, let's hear this guy. The guy's so smarmy. Come on.
No.
You might as well go through it. Everybody's hearing it on VH1.
Nobody's watching VH1.
I think it's a funny show.
I can't tell you how many people told me they saw it.
Summer home in the Hamptons. The New York beach getaway for stars like Katie Couric and Jerry Seinfeld. The property alone cost Howard $20 million, and he's spending millions more.
Oh, my God. This is so off.
Play
It's awful. I don't want to hear it.
Come on.
He makes as much money as the entire state of Wisconsin.
This bores our fans.
These store owners bores them.
It's a riot.
These store owners also, they sell people out, too. They'll go, oh yeah, he came in here and, you know, bought my sister. And
yeah, they got the people who sell the stuff.
Oh, my God.